And we're back to learn Photoshop in here, day 243. Let me show the exposure adjustment layer. You can find it right here. It has 3 interesting parameters and you can access them when you have it active in the layers menu. So you have to be on that icon and not on the layer mask. And then you will find the properties. If you can't see them, go to Window, click on Properties. And the defaults, you can neglect them. This is just a minor adjustment for the exposure. So -1, -2 does exactly that. It subtracts 1 point. And we also have plus. Let me drag that over here, and we also want to access our histogram. That way we can better see what it does. Alright, the exposure itself controls the overall lightness or darkness of your image. So this is simply similar to the exposure in your camera, if you're familiar with that. If you drag it to the right, it's going to drag the information in your image to the right, which will make it brighter. And if you drag it to the left, this will darken your image as the information will be dragged to the left hand side. And you can see that in real time in the histogram, as long as you're on the RGB channel. In this case, if we go to 0, we get our original back. And you can see there is maybe a little bit of a gap on the right hand side. So we could drag this information a little bit to the right, not much, but like a 0.1 maybe. And that should be good. The offset, this shifts the entire tonal range, so that's different. It makes the midtones and shadows lighter or darker depending on where you drag it. So it's basically adding or subtracting a brightness value, you could say. You can see that here once again, intuitively, if you drag it to the right, more information will be dragged to the right as well. But in this case, as I've said, it's primarily for the midtones and shadows. So the whites and blacks, which are the extreme points on the left and right, they will not be affected that much. Final adjustment is the gamma correction, and that adjusts the contrast of the midtones. And this doesn't affect the blacks and whites at all. So the extreme points on left and right will be left unaffected, and the points in the center, they will be dragged more to the left and right. And that's a nonlinear adjustment, so you can basically also flatten your curve here. In the original we had lots of information in center, and you can use the gamma correction to bring that a little bit down and distribute the information a little bit more to the left and right. The 3 color pickers here, they are exactly for finding your blackest, whitest and your grayest spots. So you can activate them and then left click on your image. And this will then set the white, black and gray point and therefore adjust, for example here, the exposure to 0.05. So there's simply a different way to do it. I would suggest that you use the sliders in the histogram. You can see that in real time what's being adjusted. And this is how you can use the exposure adjustment layer in Photoshop. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.